Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, teman-teman. Guys, we would like to explain about the seven tradition in communication theory or communication research. For this tradition, we actually have seven tradition that are semiotic and phenomenological tradition, sociocultural tradition, socio-psychological, then cybernetic, criticism, then the last is rhetorical. But in this meeting, we gonna explain about four tradition. The first one is semiotic tradition. This tradition is talk about how symbol is uh, how symbol is being most powerful impact in human daily life. Why? Because this tradition is talking about studies of symbol. So this tradition is perceived that communication is kind of process which involves about how the information being shared by the symbol, the sharing symbol. For example, whenever I talk here, you see guys that I'm talking with informal body language, and maybe I'm doing record in outside. So I also have uh, it's also reflect that I want to share you that uh, uh, I'm doing it, ada simbol yang ingin saya sampaikan atau ada makna yang ingin saya sampaikan kepada teman-teman semua bahwa uh, I'm happy with the pink color, for example. Then I'm doing outside means that I'm impossible for me, a housewife with two kids, doing record in indoor. Yeah, so this is kind of um, process of sharing the symbol or ideas. In semiotic, we really uh, focus about these things. Yeah, so actually in this tradition there are three varieties of semiotic that are semantic. Yeah, the semantic is kind of perception that we have, the meaning is built by the relation of symbol and the object. For example, when we say about Islam, then we have kind of idea or symbol about mosque, or whenever you say about Muslim girl, then you will think about hijab or niqab. Yeah, or whenever you say like ring in the left hand, then we say that she or he is already engaged. So there are relation between the object, the ring itself, and the symbol. Yeah, so it's called semantic. The second one is syntactic. Syntactic here is something that relate to the object and the symbol, but it related to the another object. For example, whenever I call, I say that I have a red color, then it means red, it's mean brave, right? Or fire, or something that uh, uh, bravery, ya, kekuatan gitu, power kayak gitu. But then whenever I say it like yellow, it calls, we ever think about its glory, cheerful color or it's shiny, like that. Whenever we say green, uh, for itself, ya, untuk green itu sendiri, then it means like it's peaceful, it's so 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 ecological things, ya, sangat sehat, healthy things, it's green. But whenever I combine the red, yellow and green become one, and I put there as a light in the junk section, then you guys will say it is traffic light, and three of that three objects will become a set of symbol, ya, that they have a relation between themselves, ya. Jadi ada relasi dari ketiga objek tadi secara bersamaan ketika mereka ada di dalam satu set, ya. Whenever I said red in traffic light, then it means not brave again, but you will be brave whenever, sorry, you hear that there is airplane, so sorry. Okay, okay, sorry for the interruption. So uh, i I will explain about red. Red, it's not only a thing called brave or have a brave meaning. Whenever it is in the traffic lamp, yeah. So it will say that red is mean stop. You have to stop. Then yellow is not about cheerful again, but it means you have to be careful. And the green light is means you have to be go straight, atau jalan terus gitu ya. So it's not it will have a relation with other object. Clear for syntactic. The last is pragmatic. The pragmatic here is calls that a meaning is, it will be different, will have a will has different meaning whenever it uh, it it said or it view or it dipandang oleh seseorang yang lain, ya. Misalnya, atau katakanlah Mbak Ida ngomong pria, seperti yang di PPT, ya. I call a man, then whenever I say man, then I reflect to my husband, my father, and my family, because I have two son, yeah. So man is everything for me. But whenever somebody asked the women, the divorced women, so it might be, she said like, when man is something that blah 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 blah, bisa belongs to the her 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 thinking, yeah. Or also the sign is belong to each group meaning, because every culture have different meaning. For example, when I say like ring in the left hand is different, has a different meaning when the ring in the right hand, ya. Kayak Mbak Ida pernah bilang, ya, bahwa di Indonesia dikatakan left hand itu pertunangan, kalau di kanan itu adalah pernikahan, tapi bisa sebaliknya di negara lain, kayak gitu. Jadi it have a different meaning, but otherwise this tradition, semiotic tradition, is belong to positivistic paradigm, because it's they say that semiotic is near to the objectivism, because they only studies about the sign, language, and the picture and visuality. So some mostly scholars say that it's belong to the positivism paradigm. Okay, before I'm not forget about three kind of meaning in semiotic tradition. There are three kind of meaning that are denotative, which is the real meaning, means that it the meaning based on the senses, human senses. For example, whenever I said about I do research about perempuan berkalung sorban film ya, and in one scene I see that a girl riding the horse alone and wearing the white niqab and white shirt, t-shirt maybe, and everything is white. Then in my analysis I will describe for the denotative analyze that um, the women in the film sound like wearing a white dress, white scarf, and riding horse alone. But for the second meaning, that is connotative is the like implicit meaning that relate to the one object. So whenever I come back to the first example about the scene in perempuan berkalung sorban, uh, the meaning, the connotative meaning there is not based on the senses, but behind the object itself. For example, the riding horse girls means that the girls at that time is mostly only do domestic tasks. For example, like I mentioned in the meeting class before, that dulu kita perempuan itu dianggap sebagai konco wingking, teman yang hanya menyelesaikan pekerjaan rumah saja. But then when we see in the film that uh, the women in the film riding the horse alone, means that they have a power there. The woman is kind of a woman that has a power or have adequate education, that or they have a good background or high um, high economical background, so that orang-orang yang berpengaruh saja yang pada waktu itu bisa menunggangi dan belajar berkuda, atau orang-orang yang punya pendidikan atau berada di klaster tertentu saja, misalnya dia terlibat dalam organisasi tertentu atau pondok pesantren tertentu yang intelektual tertentu, sehingga konteksnya lebih kepada itu ya. So the meaning for the analysis in my thesis, in my research, will be these women in the film look like they want to do some they she have a power ya. Jadi karena itu tadi, tidak semua perempuan bisa menunggangi kuda. For the third meaning is myth. Be careful that myth will can be berkaitan dengan kiasan ya, atau konotatif, because myth is also meaning that implied, yang ada di belakang simbol, but you have to consider that myth is based on the cultural meaning. So for example, you can analyze by the myth meaning is like perempuan itu yang menunggangi kuda adalah perempuan yang orang Jawa misalnya, dia adalah seorang Jawa yang menurut mitos itu orang perempuan Jawa harus ada di rumah, tapi ternyata dia adalah perempuan Jawa yang berani keluar. Berarti konteksnya dia ingin menyuarakan sesuatu misalnya kepada orang, karena dia berkuda sendirian, dan berkuda itu konteksnya kalau di keluarga atau kaum Jawa ningrat itu hanya dilakukan oleh laki-laki. Itu kaitannya dengan mit, ya. Tapi kalau konteks yang tadi, konotasi atau connotative meaning means that it's implied, perempuan itu menunggangi kuda, bermakna bahwa dia punya kekuatan di situ. Dia mau menunjukkan powernya sebagai perempuan. Paham ya? Oke. Okay, for the second tradition is phenomenological tradition. This tradition is belong to the interpretative paradigm, because it's belong to the how to say, it's based on how we experience something, yeah. So it has three kind of variation. That is, the first one is sorry, I mentioned before that is interpretative. I correct that it is belong to the first one is belong to the positivism, because it's based on the experiences, means that is empiric. So it's belong to the objectiveness, because something that objective, scholar said that it have been true by our experiences, ya. Jadi sesuatu yang dikatakan objektif itu sudah pernah terjadi dan ada datanya, sehingga data yang terjadi itu dikatakan sebagai pengalaman, dan pengalaman dikatakan sebagai bentuk kevalidan dalam tradisi paradigma positivistik, ya. Tapi dalam konteks perkembangannya, lagi-lagi tradisi ini berkembang menjadi paham positivism. Kita lihat ya bahwa it has three kind of variation. The first one is classic variation. The classic is perceived that the communication is kind of a process that experienced by someone that you realize it. Ketika kita tidak sadar, kita tidak realize apa yang kita lakukan, berarti dikatakan bahwa kita belum mempunyai pengalaman tersebut. For example, that somebody asks me whenever I go past the prodi or department, and but I'm not realize when the somebody called me. So it means that I have no experience about it, because I'm not realize what happened with me, or what happened when what happened when somebody call or ask me. Or for another example is whenever someone want to ask me to become an interviewee atau narasumber of divorce research, ya, tentang research tentang perceraian, dan Mbak Ida dijadikan narasumber, but then I'm not the one that have experience about divorce or broken home relation. So in this tradition, I'm not I'm is the one that have no potential to be a interviewee. Mereka menganggap bahwa saya tidak valid untuk dikatakan sebagai narasumber, kayak gitu, karena kita tidak sadar, kita bukan tipikal yang mempunyai pengalaman di situ, sehingga konteksnya seperti itu, teman-teman. Jadi pengalaman dikatakan valid ketika kita merasakan betul dan mengindranya dan mengingatnya dan menyadari betul, seperti itu yang klasik. The second one is perception. In this in this variation, we perceive that each of uh, each of person will raise the meaning through the how they how they think the meaning based on themselves. For example, like Mbak Ida said before, I will say that man is some is a human that have a meaning, very meaningful in my life, because all of men is, I mean, I have many of men in this family like that. So um, I I have like a family meaning whenever someone asks me about men, ya laki-laki. Tapi kemudian berbeda dengan orang yang tadi Mbak Ida bilang bahwa dia punya pengalaman divorce atau cerai, dan non sewu ada broken home like that they will perceive have a perception that man in his or her experiences is something like they uh, what they their experiences. Misalnya mereka pernah dipukul oleh laki-laki itu, ya mereka akan mengutarakan bahwa laki-laki itu adalah orang yang pemukul, orang yang kasar, orang yang seperti ini seperti ini seperti ini. Tidak ada, maaf ya teman-teman laki-laki ya, tidak ada niatan untuk menjatuhkan laki-laki, tapi ini untuk contoh aja ya. Kebetulan yang kasih contoh itu perempuan ya, jadi maaf. Yang kemudian yang terakhir adalah the hermeneutic perception, that it's belong to how the language, or linguistic thing matter, that someone will give a meaning something based on how they choose the tone, the intonation of the voice, or the voice, the voice, how they choose the verb, kata-kata yang mereka pilih misalnya, atau mereka katakanlah seperti ini, kita melakukan penelitian tentang tadi, mau meneliti tentang bagaimana pengalaman seseorang terkait dengan hubungan keluarganya kayak gitu. Ketika kita menjadi researcher, then based on this variation, kita akan melihat bagaimana pemilihan kata-kata atau nada dari interviewee kita, narasumber kita. Apakah kemudian ada nada yang dipelankan ketika dia menjawab tentang sesuatu, atau apakah ada nada yang kemudian ditinggikan, oh aku sangat tidak setuju dengan seperti ini seperti ini seperti ini. Nah, konteks itu menjadi data kita ya, temuan kita yang menguatkan penelitian kita, data kita, sehingga variasi ini kemudian mengubah paradigma ini, tradisi ini yang tadinya sangat positivistik menjadi interpretatif. Karena itu based on value atau based on interpretation of someone, ya, bahwa nilai itu bahwa sesuatu itu punya nilai karena belong to the perception of someone, gitu teman-teman ya. Paham ya untuk yang dua tradisi ini? Kita cukupkan video ini, kita lanjut ke video setelahnya. Oke?